Yo, good evening. How y'all doing? Tom Hawk Tony, covering for Indigenous One, Buck Wallow. Just getting started right now. He was fortunate to get Johnnie Aborigine back with us. He did an interview with Buck like nearly 5 years ago. And so yeah, we got him with us. Hey Johnny, you with us?
Yes, sir. Pete, was that with
Yeah, it was good.
wonderful, bro? Good.
Yo, I'm gonna just check the audio. Just verify. I bet. Yeah, yeah. You did that interview with Buck. Like, what was that like? Like 2013, 2014, something like that.
Yeah, about 20, I believe, 2014. Yeah, or early 2015. It was somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. How'd you like that interview?
But at that time, it was good. I mean, that was actually my first time, doing any sort of interview or blog talk radio show. I felt like, of course, me being a perfectionist or like, or kind of OCD, I'm like, man, I could have gave a lot more information than I did. But at the same time, that was at the beginning of everything. That was the knowledge, basically. And so, it was just a general, the first time I was on the show with Buck, but now, like, I think I've acquired so much knowledge since then, and just observed and became aware of so much of my surroundings within this information and within this community and just our society in general. Like, so much growth and elevation since then.
Yo, that's what's up, man. Yeah, you Buck, it's a wild lineup of people that been doing this. You providing quality information for the people. So, like, let me ask you, right? How old were you when you decided that you wanted to be a source of awareness and truth for our American people?
So I would say I didn't decide myself, but at the time when I first started researching this information, I was about, I'd say, 21 or 22. And then by default, that put me in a spot to become, a person that's a source of awareness. I didn't make the decision myself. I guess it just kind of came natural. And then, because I was never a person that did it for selfish reasons or financial gain or selfish purposes or opportunities. You know what I mean? I just wanted the information. I was constantly thirsty for information by any means because we've been lied to so much. I just wanted to simply uncover the truth by any means necessary. You know what I mean? But it all began, I say, about when I was 22 years old in 2013. And man, it's been a journey. If I can say, it's really been a big journey since.
Yeah, I mean, as a growing like, you fresh out of, like, you freshly embracing your adulthood, if you will, you know what I'm saying? And you skydiving into real life, you know what I mean, where it's like now you starting to understand why society is shaped the way it is against our people. That's real crazy. You know what I mean? Like, to be doing that like in your early 20s,
Exactly. And for me, it helped me grow a lot as a person itself, by researching this information, because I was a person that was kind of, around that time, I was still living a fast lifestyle in the streets. You heard me?
Yeah.
Like, running the streets in New Orleans, I'm still doing different things, vibrating on my lower self and dealing with underworld activities. So for me, it helped me grow as a man, to stay focused on this information and constantly research and understand who I am, as an Aborigine and as a man itself. It constantly made me focus to just stay away from the crowd and just focus on the information and to not, just live reckless.
Yo, let me ask you. Oh yeah, my apologies. Yeah, please continue. I had another question for you. Something just occurred to me. I wanted to ask you something just relative to what you're saying right now.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
All right, so like when at this point in time, as you mentioned, you was like 21, 22 years old when you was when you was getting into this path right here. As you referenced, you was familiar with the underworld situations, and so now fast forward 5 years later, as you look back, and you see what the youth experiencing right now. What is your thoughts on this? You know what I'm saying, as far as like what the youth is dealing with right now?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are product of their society, but at the same time, Jeremy, people are so attached to it that they think that this is the only thing that exists. You know, to constantly be a drug dealer, or to constantly, thug, or to be a jackpot or a hitter, like they always be saying. They just so attached to it, they think that's all there is to exist. You know, speaking from experiences, this was something that I was doing, living a part of the street lifestyle since I was like 14.
Yeah.
You hear me? Constantly doing the most craziest things that a person could think of or could only imagine. So when I see the youth today doing it, I think, there's a way out. Like, that's not the only thing to life, is to just try to be a thug or to portray this image that this is what masculinity is. You know, to be a thug or to be a so-called gangster, when you know that you could know better, when you know that you could acquire more knowledge and morality to uplift yourself, to upgrade your lifestyle and do better. Like, this information itself just helped me, grow. And I obtained a lot of, resourceful information, not just information about, the Aboriginal history, but information about law and genealogy and trust and economics as far as it relates to being an Aboriginal. So there's so much knowledge, wealth of knowledge within this consciousness or this way of thinking, when you within knowledge itself of finding who you are and to leave that lifestyle in the street when you don't have to do that. Like, it's not hard to get away from it. A lot of people, like I said, is just addicted to it and just think. And I think for us, there's a way that we could show the youth that you could get out of that lifestyle by understanding who you are, by understanding that you could take control of your environment with this information. You can own your land again with this information by finding your lanes and understanding who you are.
Yo, you absolutely right.
It's not something that's easy to do, though. At the same time, it's not something that's easy to do. It's a path. It's a step-by-step process to get out of that lifestyle. It's not just easy as just snapping your finger, be like, yeah, I'm not about to thug it out no more. It's something that definitely evolves over time. When you just simply observe and become aware of certain things, it's definitely a step-by-step process to get away from it.
Yo, you absolutely right, man. I appreciate your honesty, man, because we got so many people, man, that withhold quality information from our youth, especially, man, from our people. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I do appreciate about Buck, the African American Africans platform, the members, everybody that we work with, you know what I mean, is that we maintain a healthy degree of honesty and truth amongst ourselves, and from us we're able to extend that to the people, and so in regards to what you just said, so basically, like, as you was embracing the awareness of yourself, your truth, your people, your land, etc., basically, like, you was receiving like pretty much self-inspiration and self-motivation there, huh?
Absolutely. It put me at a crossroads. It's like, how can I continue to live this lifestyle? I'm acquiring so much information about myself to the point where how can I continue to do all of this negative behavior, all of this messed up, behavior, and still acting like a little boy? Like, there's so much information that I'm obtaining and acquiring. It's like, how can I continue to live recklessly or live immature? So it just helped me boost myself, as a person and as a man.
Hey, yo, that's what it's about, man. It's real crazy, and something that you said a minute ago is very reminiscent of something one of my peoples told me back when I was a kid, right back in my like my late teens. He was Blackfoot, out of Maryland and shit. What he told me was we're conditioned by environment, and if we knew better, we do better. And so over the years, how I've kept that with me is basically how I view things is, we can condition our environment and we can provide better. We can provide better knowledge for our people so that, collectively we can do better. You know what I mean? And this is why truth, quality communication, speaking healthy language to each other, you know what I'm saying? Embracing our true nature, you know what I mean? And being aware of the relationships in which we have and which we can secure with each other is so important. I mean, in this environment, you know what I mean, foreigners, they manufacture conflict with ease. You know what I mean? And we have the opportunity to recognize, like, we can see through all of this, not just because of our experience, but also through the awareness of ourselves and what has happened to our ancestors. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. Like, I got people that's since they came into the awareness, all right, and they've been doing their genealogy, they've been making serious strides in regards to securing land in which they are heirs to. Numerous places across the country. You know what I mean? These people are studying trust law. These people studying common law, studying laws in general, studying state constitutions. You know what I mean? These people, they're assisting each other. You know what I mean? They're getting their relatives together. They're killing old conflicts from past generations. You know what I mean? A lot of good things is taking place. And, people not making excuses out here. I mean, certainly you got a lot of people that don't make time for this, but, those that are making time for this, they real busy. You know what I'm saying? They're real focused, like you just said.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You could definitely empower yourself with this information by finding yourself, economically, legally, and culturally. It's so much rich. There's a lot of benefits, Jeremy, to finding out who you are. It can make you become family oriented again. Like, that's what it helped me do, was to appreciate my family more, or made me become close with them by constantly asking them questions about who they are. Conversations that we didn't have before, by understanding who I am, by constantly researching information about, we the original people of America, to help me become more family oriented. And that's really what a remedy is, to, like, getting rid of oppression or poverty. You just gotta talk to your family, and you would never know how much land or inheritance that your family sits on without talking to them, without having a conversation with them.
Yo, that's right.
You would be surprised how much progress we could make by simply building with our family, just in conversation. We never know. You never know what that could turn into, and that's all really people have to do, is just to talk with their family, and it could lead them in so many different ways. Economically, back to the past with records, make them, uncover a lot of records, about their past great grandparents, who they were on this land, and what they were sitting on previously. Just with a simple conversation with your family about who we are, where did they come from, what tribe were they associated with, what did they ever slave, by just tracing your lineage.
Yo, you're absolutely right, man. I was fortunate enough to interact with some of my elders early. You know what I mean? Like, my peoples told me when I was a little boy, pretty much, and I got a long memory. You know what I mean? Like, certain things I just don't forget. And you were saying, you have the underworld experience and this, that, and the other. Then for me, I was able to reach a point of a form of stability in my life. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm able to sit down a little bit and be able to just not be so stressed out. You know what I mean? Dealing with the day-to-day hustle and bustle, if you will, right? I was able to recall things that my people said to me. For example, my people told me that, they was kidding. Like, through my father's lineage, I'm a Turner, so my peoples, they told me early that they was kidnapping our, like, women and children and shit, like, back in, like, the 1700s going into the 1800s, and they was shipping them off to Louisiana. And that's why we got Turners, Louisiana. Right. So in me doing research over the years, since I gained a degree of stability, I've been able to really look into this and see what really was going on. And yeah, definitely, when you talk to your people, you could definitely gain, some real serious, oftentimes heartbreaking information. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it's definitely important to be patient with your elders when you're discussing, their experience, they experiences, their history, their childhood. You know what I mean? Things they saw, things they heard. You know what I mean? Like, when you're able to connect with them on a real, personal and spiritual level, you know what I mean? It can be very, very powerful for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember when I first came into the knowledge, I didn't even much have a good understanding of genealogy. You know, in the beginning, for me, it was just researching information, researching the earliest historical explorer account and sharing that online, just showing the presence that the original Indians, the Indians were originally us, or the Indians were originally described as us. You know, I didn't have a good understanding of genealogy initially, like back then in 2014, 2013. But I was always great at sharing information because I was just hungry for it to be out there. But at the same time, over time, I got that understanding of genealogy by just staying persistent, persistent to the information. You know, I understood how to research my own lineage by eventually building with T. Walhart. He saw my information being spread online so much that gave me the opportunity. And then that's another thing. You never know where this information could take you. You never know who it could link you with. And it's like I was so fortunate to link with Chief Walhart as I was sharing this information. And she pointed me in a direction of finding my lineage in southern Mississippi on my mama's side, past Christian, Mississippi. You know, by her seeing the information. Then that led me to the avenue of genealogy, like how to trace genealogy, how to find your family names on census records, on household census records, on rolls. And I eventually found my great-grandfather on the Mississippi Choctaw Road.
Yep.
By simply tracing my lineage. You know, through and not giving up. And that's another thing. A lot of people just give up so fast on their lineage because they just think that the online website is it. That's everything. But you got to go in person to the local or to your earliest grandparents' earliest location, county vital records office and get their vital records. And you keep going from there. You can't just give up because you get a little roadblock online at ancestors.org or ancestry.com or archives.com. Is it? Go in person and dedicate yourself to this journey if you really want to find who you are. But and that's what I'm saying. Like over time, a lot of growth that I've gotten, understand things a lot better when it comes to being an Aborigine, like genealogy, trust, how to economically empower yourself as an Aboriginal. And it's like that wouldn't have happened back then in 2013, 2014 if I didn't, maintain dedication and persistency to this information.
Yeah, man, yo, real talk, man. I'm happy that you have been consistent because, I done seen people, like I said, they be part-time with it. You know what I'm saying? Make excuses, you know what I mean? And like, on my channel, I be dealing with things like consumer data reports. I don't know if you got into these consumer data reports pertaining to the quote-unquote Black African American, right? But when you embrace your people's truth and you seeing all these different activities, like how you said earlier, you dissing yourself from going with the crowd and things of that nature. When you start doing things like this and you really start seeing like what's going on and you really start seeing how people pretty much be supporting their own demise, it's kind of disturbing, you know what I mean? But besides all of that, I'm grateful that you are, staying on your course, you know what I mean? And that you are actually, not stingy and selfish like so many people have been with this information. You're not, these are qualities that I pay attention to when I interact with people, how selfish they are, you know what I mean? Negligence and just general lack of self-respect and dignity, you know what I mean? And by me observing this, I communicate the opposite of these characteristics, so, you did this interview back with Buck Wild and Kerry Davis, Indigenous One, on Blog Talk Radio, African Radio, right? So let me ask you this: what have you observed and experienced in regards to our American people's growth in this truth and awareness?
Well, I think the main thing is the level of consciousness, or I should say the inferiority has switched. Like understanding that the original people of this land, no longer vibrate on a low vibration or victim of victim home because you understand of this land. Now you realize you have to blame other people as far as those that have woken up, thousands of being an American Aborigine or an American Indian. that they have the power to change things with their identity, and that's one of the big progress I've seen. Like on social media, like a lot of people have started embracing and realizing, wow, my grandparents say they're Indian, so that makes maybe just got changed. They realize that they can actually do more for themselves, and they don't have to keep themselves in a position of inferiority 24/7. But at the same time, there's a lot of other people that see this information and can see how much common sense it makes, realizing that you're from this land, and they'll reject you. They'll push you away when you tell them that you're the original of this land, because they understand that it comes with a lot of responsibility and accountability. You know, being an Indian, you know what I mean? They so used to other people dictating their livelihood or telling them what they can't be, or just constantly giving a little emotional racial rhetoric speeches all day long, that they think like that's all there is to it. Like this, they think that they can't change anything. And this is people that's Pan-Africans. These are educated people with degrees that's just so content with their degree and think that's all life is about. And like I said, the Pan-Africans, and then they don't want nothing to interrupt that. But the theme of all three is they don't want anything to interrupt either their financial situation by understanding they're original of this land, or they don't want anybody to interrupt their belief, or they don't want anybody to interrupt their religious beliefs. That's the theme between the three of them, between the Pan-African, between the educated Negro, with the don't do anything because they still get in position, and then the other person that want to make some money, the white, I'll say the so-called white man's money, but through the colonizer and not for themselves. That they constantly reject this information because they want to just continue to keep up, the status quo, in society. Like they're not ready for a society controlled by them. By being the original of this land pre-colonial, before the colonizer got it, before the white man got it. They're not ready for that. That's a lot of responsibility for people, that they haven't got to that level of understanding or that level of readiness yet. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that have easily embraced this information, that you see progress. There's hope. You see hope, like, it doesn't take much for the domino effect to keep rolling. For more people to keep embracing some big change real soon, like real soon.
Yo, absolutely, man. I see it. Honestly, I get caught up at times. But same thing I done seen in numerous places across the country, you know what I mean? But me being out here, for the time that I've been out here, interacting with I've met some great people out here, you know what I mean? Also down through some serious shit though, you know what I mean? And I do what I can to share quality information, you know what I mean, to be supportive, and but it's definitely good that our people are strong. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can say about our people. We are strong, and like we ain't like them. We ain't like them other people throughout the world that submit. You know what I mean? We not submissive kind of people. And main thing I'm looking at is just maintaining the consistency of the quality of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Whereas what I mean, this, as far as I'm concerned, this kind of information that we dealing with, this is what can bring us together. And how I see it, this is what our ancestors intended for us to do. You know what I mean? For us to, no matter where we are from within the Americas, you know what I'm saying, we can embrace each other truly as being American. You know what I'm saying? From whatever nations, clans, tribes, etc., whatever people want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And this is why language is so important as well when we're dealing with our natural element. You know what I mean? We can embrace the fact that okay, you're being naturally yourself. You're not being some commercial grade, artificial, synthetic entity. You know what I mean? That can this right here, this quality information can kill a lot of confusion. So yeah, I appreciate the work you've done, man. I mean, like I remember seeing your memes being posted to the I don't really do social media. You know, I remember when I first got with 8-4 back in like 2015, I was seeing your memes flying everywhere. And I'm like, hey, yo, what is this? I'm like, yo, son got that info. You know what I mean? And like, you know, I study, I research, but I'm just like, yo, hold up, man. Like, what's a meme? I'm like, yo, what's a meme? It's like, what's there's some slick words like comical, but then you got other people like Johnnie where he actually gives you research. And it's like, where did I see that? But it's like, I mean, you know, I was grateful because like, yo, within this small little picture, you know what I'm saying? You just got a great book you could read. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh shit, like, yo, he killing it with it. I'm like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? So like, yo, I was grateful for the fact that, you know, you took the time to do that, to make these memes. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I remember we had back, you know, years ago, what was that? I want to say like 2015, 2016, we had people coming to the groups and say, yeah, y'all using pictures to say something. And it's like, yo, no, you got a problem reading. So since you got a problem reading, perhaps you shouldn't say anything and just simply read and then respond. You know what I mean? Like what, you know, we got people that's really doing research, such as yourself. You know what I mean? I mean, for you to have been 21, 22 when you started embracing this truth that was already within you, but now you're like, yo, this is my truth. I'm taking it, I'm running with it, and I ain't letting nothing steer me off this course. And then fast forward, you know, you're like, whoa, I gotta share this truth. And you know, you're young, you're tech savvy, you know, phone you put together these memes, and yo, yeah, man, yo, you appreciate it, man. Believe that, yo, you definitely appreciate it for your service, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy because I'm phone for everything. Like throughout this entire time, been working operating off the iPhone and then making it with a simple. You heard me just putting them little memes, them little posts that got the book quote in it. It's strictly straight from the iPhone, which is crazy. I just show you how much power you could utilize technology with. Like if you want to, if you simply want to apply it and you're hungry for something, you could utilize the leaf that you have.
You're absolutely right.
And it's like and it's crazy that you mentioned about people reading. I had no idea that the post was being shared on Facebook because I was just initially on Instagram. Because I felt like Instagram was like the most convenient avenue or outlet on social media, you know, to simply share pictures, because that's what Instagram is for, you know, for pictures. And I guess people that was following me on Instagram brought it to Facebook, and I'm really appreciative of those people that did that, you know, because they're the ones that made it pop or made it spread around the most. You know, Instagram and brought it to Facebook, and I just felt like Instagram was to utilize everything. But I just figured, like I said, it was just much more convenient on Instagram. You know, and then eventually that led me to, because I figured people would want to read more. I just wanted to inspire people to read, because like I always had sources on everything I posted, so nobody could come with me with that bullshit.
That's
like,
right.
You just saying something about your opinion. Nope. Like, no, I put a source on everything that I put up.
That's right.
Like nobody can ever play with me and come at me stupid, come at me crazy, like with that foolishness. I got a resource, got a source for you to look up on everything. You hear me? But at the same time, it's like it led me to start making videos. Cause like I got a video of me talking on Instagram, you know, breaking down the information, and I'm going in like for just for a whole minute. I tried to squeeze as much information that I could within that 1 minute. You hear me? Because I'm seeing a lot of people like twisting, since we've put out so much information in text or through text format, in words format for people to read. You have people that come in now and become an opportunist and try to come up often information and take advantage of it. Like because we laid the foundation so much, like through reading, through words, through the meme collages, and now like they got to understand it works.
Exactly.
People that come into this knowledge come from some other foreign ideology, from Pan-Africanism and more, and they start making videos off of my information that I put out for other people to just simply, become aware of. And they start monetizing the whole thing that I'm putting out by using my words, word for word, using my post word for word, and make a whole YouTube channel monetizing things that I put out. Like that's just something that I'm keeping game on and becoming aware of. Like somebody created a whole YouTube channel.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Nope.
Which is crazy, but it's like I've never been that person that looked for credit on anything. But you got somebody that's out there just taking donations on shit off of some of my creators or something that I said or put out. That was inspired to me by another person, by Cherry Davis, by Mr. Buckweiler. He inspired me, but then you got somebody that take our information and just start monetizing as his own. Dog. That's really crazy to me.
Yo, you're absolutely right, man. So yeah, we got an A4, we got a bunch of A4 members up in the YouTube chat. You know, if you run this video back, you'll be able to see it. But yeah, we got Lorenzo Duckworth. How you doing? Much appreciation everyone in the chat, everybody watching right now. Lorenzo Duckworth just said, that's the beauty of your meme, Johnny. You have the source to where people go look for it. And that's what I mean, yo. Like you got people that really appreciate your service, man. Because you know, you got people that just be playing, you know what I mean, doing ridiculous things. You know what I'm saying? Just they just want to say something, but you know, they want to regurgitate. You, on the other hand, and others like you actually give people with sources. And when a person actually goes and looks at it, just take the time to look at it and just don't take it at face value. And then they really ingest and digest what you just shared with them. I mean, you know, it's very opening. You know what I'm saying? You can become very open. It's like, oh shit, like yo, that's serious. Like, yo, hold up, man. Like, yo, who's this author? Hold on, this author got more work on this subject matter. Next thing you know, you got somebody going through the author's whole collection of books from like 300 years ago. You know what I mean? And you know, it's
just by simply putting the source down there.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it's
like I never wanted to make the information personal. Like I always kept it informational and keep it strictly about the information with the source, so people can research on their own. Like that's never been I never had an agenda with it. I wanted to just simply shed light, spread awareness, put this information out by any means so it could spread, so people could tap their own intuitive thought and not make it about me. You know, trying to make somebody think, you know, on my own will. I wanted you to have this awareness based on you doing your own research off the sources that I provide.
That's right. That's right. You know, that's why I've said over the years, man, I'm not here to convince nor convert. You know what I mean? Here's the information. You know what I mean? Once you have this information, once you processed it, once you come back with some questions, you know what I mean? Now we can have a discussion, a conversation about it. You know what I mean? We're able to receive each other's perspective and analysis and this, that, and the other. And, you know, that's a part of relationship building where we're able to respect each other's minds. You know what I mean? Like absolutely. Like, you know, some people go and take the information, be like, oh, well, you know, this is coming from the white man perspective. But it's like, yo, you got to understand, like back in the 1500s, 16, 17, 1800s, you know what I'm saying?
That was the only people that was writing about it.
But not
people that was keeping records with them.
Not just that, though. Not just that. But these people, remember, we got to keep in mind also, right? And I agree with you. We also got to keep in mind, there wasn't a lot of printing presses back in the day.
Exactly.
There wasn't a lot of, you couldn't just press a button and get the printing. No, the print press and things of that nature, those were trained professionals. These people were sanctioned by governments and royalty to gather these records. These records, when they was being gathered and written and this, that, and the other, they wasn't being gathered and written for us. This was gathered and being written for foreign royalty and governments.
Exactly.
And so this is
the highest authority, bro.
That's right. That's right.
Respected in their own society, writing about it.
Yeah, and you know, and the people that was actually going out, you know, like you have George Caitlin, Constantine Samuel Rafinsky, Carl Bodmer. I mean, you got a John Ogilvy, Arnoldo Martinez. You got so many different.
Cuba Howard Bancroft.
Yeah.
The California Indian. He described them as black, straight up black Indians, Negro. Cuba Howard Bancroft.
Yeah.
The California Indian.
Yeah, and so. Huh?
In the 1800s, he was describing the California Indians as black.
Oh yeah, I know.
We were still living as aboriginals in California. You know, being observed and recorded by somebody. I think he got his own university. It's not his own university. He got his own library inside of a university in California. Cuba Howard Bancroft.
Yeah. I'm about to look into that. Yeah, I'm about to check out that library.
Most respected people in their society, even and then like William Penn. William Penn, the state of Pennsylvania was named after William Penn. He was on the grit Quaker box. He on the grit box. You know what I mean? This is somebody that's most respected in English and United States society, William Penn, and he described the Indians that he encountered as being black, the Lenapes or the Delaware.
That's right.
So it's like everybody that described the Indians were or the biggest colonists or leaders of their society. So it's not so much that it's the white man's words. These are the people that actually that we came in contact with. And later on, they created the country itself, created the colonies, and created the United States. So it's like to see that this is what the Indians were described as, is to say that this is what the United States actually came in contact with. So it's not about what the white man says. It's all about record keeping. This is a source, you know what I mean, that is the most respected in society in all the universities and libraries.
Absolutely right. This is why when people man's words, it's like, yo, you don't understand. You just don't understand how things was composed in this environment. You don't understand how things came to be. You don't understand history. You don't understand time. Like, you're a regurgitator versus being aware. Like, yo, these were serious scholars back then. I mean, you talk about like people that literally was like I mean, people go to school today for 2, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, and then call it quits. These people, their whole life was dedicated to scholarship. They came to America to study our people, to document literally everything. And it's a double-edged sword. One aspect of it was so they can study our people, scouting, reconnaissance, identifying how they can manipulate us, sabotage, and pretty much do whatever they want to do with us. That's one aspect. But the other aspect of it is what we're doing today, where it's just like, yeah, we got access to this information. We're not fools. We're not stupid. Like, yeah, we got a lot of people that like to watch TV and be good consumers and be good employees and this, that, and the other, supporting foreign interests. But we also have people like yourself, people like Buck, and people like so many of our members in A4 that just ain't with that shit. Because I need to know exactly what's going on out here so I can prepare this with others, especially if you got daughters and sons out here. You got daughters and sons out here. This is very important, and that brings me to this textbook, man. This when I saw it on Instagram a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh shit, that's hot. I'm like, yo, Johnnie got him in like, oh, hold up, yo, what's good with this textbook, man?
Yeah, January 2019, I'm trying to put out a textbook where we could educate our own. Real for real. Like, we know we can make a big exodus out of the public school system by having a textbook that tells them, that shows them, that gives them subjects that study American Aborigine studies. They can learn 2 Americans such as wire. And I've learned so much information, dog. Like, we really need to get back to our true way of living. And it's like so much information that I've obtained. It's like now it's time for me to finally put it in an educational curriculum format and not just keep sitting on it or just keep sharing it simply on Instagram. We got to have this in our hands so we could teach our own children.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And it's like we learn our children, miseducated and indoctrinated so much inside of school, like to the point where they being taught at a very slow pace. Like the growth is being slowed down intentionally. They're learning the same thing repetitively over and over from ages 4 to 10. It's the same old subject: reading, writing, science, mathematics, language arts, social studies. Like that's literally it. Like there's no opportunity for them at all. Like whereas with this textbook, I'm trying to put everything that we need to know, everything that we didn't know, and everything that we need to use, for our children to become land-based and to give our children, pass on something to our children from this land, since this is our land, pass on some wealth of knowledge, wealth of skill sets such as farming, learning how to farm, learning how to farm fruits and vegetables, how to farm medical cannabis even, and that all starts with education, of how to do these things and the importance of these things, the functions of these things, why it's important. You know what I mean? Because I've been working on this for like the last 4 months, and it's crazy because it's like somebody inspired me to do it, and I'm realizing, like, damn, I really should have been did it, and like now it's more important than ever. Like I'm glad, glad somebody inspired to start within me to do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's something I've been working on for the last 4 months, just putting this textbook together. Because I'm actually gonna have like 2 different types of textbooks. One for homeschoolers, and they will have like it'll be the biggest textbook for homeschoolers that ever existed. They have all the subjects for reading, writing, science, mathematics, Aboriginal title, trust law, obviously American Aborigine studies, American Aborigine languages, like I mentioned, and a complete full documentation of our American Aborigine history, the true history and origins of the so-called Black Americans, reclassified American Aborigines, for ages 4 through 10. And it's like our children would be able to grasp these subjects in a way where they can advance years early, because the textbook's going to have all of them subjects, all of them grade levels for those subjects, for mathematics, reading and writing together, one textbook. It's like I recently bought like every textbook that an elementary student uses, the typical textbook for each subject that's used in every grade level in school. I bought all of them, just to use as a model to be like, you know what I mean? I can really just combine all of this reading and writing and mathematics in one, and we don't have to subject our children to all this miseducation and indoctrination in school if they just got one big textbook for their own parents. All they got to do is just study this one big textbook. They got all the grade levels for these subjects in one textbook, and all their parents got to do, just be willful, willing to teach their own babies. Like you can't have babies just to send them off to the system. Like that's really crazy that people reproduce specifically to just go give them off to the school system and the colonizing society. Like you making babies just for the white man to educate your children. That's essentially what we making babies for. We reproducing to create wars of the state and the school system and society, period. Like you create a baby, you put them through the school system for 14 to 18 years just so they could be trained to work on a 9-to-5 plantation or work on a commercial society for white people, uplifting white people. Whereas if you equip with a textbook that gives you the instructions or gives you the tools to educate your own children, you won't have to subject your children to any of that no more. Because now you have this textbook that gives you everything you need as an American Aborigine, reclassified American Indian, everything you need to educate your own children as far as the early ages, from ages 4 to 10. You'll have that now, and I'm trying to put that out in January 2019. And like I said, it'll be 2 textbooks, one for homeschoolers, reading, writing, science, mathematics, trust law, Aboriginal title, American Aborigine studies, American Aborigine languages, and a complete American Aborigine history. Autochthonous origins of the so-called Black Americans. They didn't originate from the Wells. They originated from this land. I got all kinds of sources and documentation. I've been putting that up on academicpub.com, like just drafting the textbook, maybe for the physical copy. And then the other textbook will be for classroom teaching. It'll be essentially some of the same stuff because they're already teaching reading and writing and mathematics and science in school, but they're not teaching Aboriginal American history, Aboriginal American languages, and Aboriginal American social studies and Aboriginal titles, as well as how to farm and how to grow medical cannabis. So that'll be in a separate textbook for classroom teaching. And it's just something that we really need. It's like I got all of this information I'm sitting on. It's time to finally put it in a book format, in a curriculum format for us to all utilize. Because it's like the time is now, to really just empower ourselves with this information. And what it'll do, it'll inspire so many other people to embrace who they are, become aware of who they are, and empower themselves as an American Indian. Because now they actually have, a book, a source of information in writing, constant writing. You'll be able to always hold this textbook to use as a resource, as a reference point. like at all times, no matter if they're a child or an adult, because it'll give adults the opportunity to learn so much of this information too about American Aboriginal culture that they never knew about before. And it also, and that's what it does. Like it brings the parents and children closer together through learning, through education of who they are. Like they never had that opportunity before, but they'll have it now soon in the next 3 months in January, as the parents teach their children these subjects that's laid out in the textbook. The parents are also acquiring information that the children won't have to look at as most superior. How can a parent sleep at night, Jeremy, sending a child up to school and having your child subconsciously thinking that the school system is more superior than my own parents? The school system is the authority over my parents. Like my parents is not smart enough to teach. Jeremy, that's what a child is thinking. Yep. They thinking that, damn, my parents ain't really worth shit, so they just sending me out to the school system and allowing the school system to do anything they want to my mind. Like, it's really crazy that the parents just go along with that because they just worrying about their 9 to 5. They think that the only thing a parent's supposed to do is just shelter and feed and provide. Like, that's not a parent. That's a welfare broker. Like, you're a welfare broker for the state. You're just making babies just to house them. But yet you're going to let the school system raise them for 14 years. Basically, the entire white society. But that's going to change with these textbooks. You know, I'm sitting on a lot of information. I might as well apply it, put it together in an educational format so we can utilize it, so we can get our babies out these school systems quick.
Yo, man, that's really commendable what you're doing, man. You know, I try to do similar things myself. I mean, I haven't gotten to textbook level yet. You know what I mean? You know, that requires some very serious organization skills, man. You know what I mean?
It is, it is, and the crazy part about it, I'm doing it out of my own pocket too. I'm not asking nobody for no donations. I'm doing it simply because we need this. A lot of people be asking for donations and crowdfunding, be scamming people like crazy, and don't never come through on it, which is even more crazy. Ask for donations for a fake school they know that they wasn't going to build, or ask for donations for some property, some real estate fund that they know they can't give to people, but people not reading the terms and conditions of the contract. You're not going to get your money back. You're not going to get no return on your money. But people are not, conditions to realize they can't get, it can never be done with their money. They just got swindled and finessed by these J. Morris and these Kumar Johnson. You hear me? By these brothers for life. They've been scamming people for years. I've really been messing over people.
Now we got the new scammers. Now we got the new ones. We got the new breed of scam artists, right?
Yeah, they're coming in our paradigm, dog, with our information that we've been working hard to put out. And they think it's just so cool and so easy to just come through and become a little pastor, like, sort of like, dog, like, because you speaking so much, you giving so much speeches and playing on people's emotions, you're doing so much talking, that people don't realize where you getting it from. You just came out the blue in, 2016?
Yeah.
In 2017. And out of nowhere, you start using other people. You got people that using my information, 1,000 go ahead and after lessons, and they combining it and putting it into their own monetized YouTube channel. You getting it from us. You getting it from Johnnie Aborigine, 1,000 go ahead and after lessons, and Buck Wylam and Tomahawk Tony, information that we all put out to help people and uplift people, not to exploit them and financially scam them, like, but for financial gain, like. That's really crazy.
Man, you know.
People don't know no people that.
Yo, you know what, like when, there was one particular say to do. I don't do it again right now, but for me, I was like, all right, I mean, you using my content, content that I release and what have you. I mean, it's. For me, it's research, and I put it out there so the people could receive it. But, I see the agenda behind it, so I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. And so then anyway, now when I started seeing our A4 members who are like, they're just on Facebook, or they dealing with their real lives, and they just take the time to create posts and share that information to the people. And then now we got people, trying to take it, like you said, monetize and sell these fake spec. I call them things. They don't you know what I mean? It's just real crazy affecting people that we work with. That's when I start taking offense. When I start seeing people trying to play with our American people that's putting in this work, that's when I start taking offense. You know what I mean? And the illest part for me about this is the fact that we got so many people that's just hungry and they vulnerable, so they willing to eat anything. They willing to eat anything. Like, I set up A4 book club on Facebook, right? Like, I think it was like early this year, in the last year, I can't remember. But I set up A4 book club, and somebody posted somebody's content, right? And I'm like, yo, we don't do that in this group. You know what I'm saying? We don't do confusion in this group. And so the person, they responded saying, well, I like to eat meat and then spit out the bones. I'm like, where we are today, we need quality nutrition. We need quality minerals and vitamins. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time to be trying to pick through some food right now. You know what I mean? And that's why I appreciate this textbook, this this curriculum that you developed here, man. This is really good. You know what I mean? Because like so many of us have already done eaten all kinds of information, had to spit out all kinds of bones. You know what I mean? Had to just throw the whole plate away. You know what I mean? Had to flip the table over. We've already had to do so much of this already. And so when we're in this kind of position right now where we know better and therefore we could do better, that's exactly what we should be doing, especially for hungry for this information.
Yeah, we ain't got no time to be playing with people, bro. We too late in the game for all that.
Yeah, man.
It's all about consistency at this point, dog, and not enabling selfish opportunity. And doing it specifically for money when it should be about empowering our people. And then when you try to give them information, you lead them to sovereign citizen and Morris paradigm. When this is strictly Aboriginal, you lead them to SCDM.org. And some other foolishness, you lead them to AAIP, MIC website, and you got another one that's just like him that you told me is like his son or some shit, but we too late in the game to be playing with people, manipulating and exploiting them. Like, if you're trying to empower people, then empower. You can't come after somebody else, what if somebody else already did, and try to make money. And just doing that by itself, you're just making money off the talk and regurgitating what people already put out, which is fucking ridiculous, dog.
Yeah, man.
But people not like, I guess. They can't really see. I don't know. I guess they don't want to see. They get too emotional, attached to figures or personalities. Because people talk too much, and that's the reason why people be doing these illustrious, grand videos of them talking. Because they understand that they're doing this shit for a following or a flop. You hear me?
Man,
they understand that they don't make people attached to them. How well they speak.
Hey man, man. Let me share this with you, right? I done been in different circles over the years, right? And so it was like, I can't remember, I think I was like a teenager, right? And I heard people talk about Toastmasters. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is a Toastmaster? So fast forward, right? Yo, now I'm getting ready for a presentation. I'm just priming it right now. But seriously, what you saying right now, though, yeah, yo, we got some professional Toastmasters, you know what I mean, trying to play with the people with this information, man. And it ain't right, man. It's not right at all. I mean, we got some serious options, man, and it's going to do what it's going to do, man. The people, we have the opportunity to give them options, and that's what it's about, man. I think it's what's that situation where, I think it's like communism when you provide only just one direction, all right, where people have no other choice, no other option, and our youth deserve way better than that. The quality information. Like for example, right? Looking at the summary of your curriculum right here. I mean, you're dealing with farming, reading, writing, science, mathematics. You're dealing with languages. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with a lot of great subject matter here. And so now when you have a child who's getting information and they know this information is coming from their people and not from some boring foreigner, you know what I'm saying? That child may be interested in being like, you know what? Yeah, I want to get into farming. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and research because, like, yo, for me, I'm looking forward to getting some land real soon. All right, now, peep game. A couple years ago, while I was doing some research, and I take time just to research different things I'm interested in, right? And so I came across they have a digital system for farming. It plants the seeds. It schedules, like, it all works digitally with an app and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can still get your hands dirty. Of course, you're gonna get your hands dirty, but still, you know what I'm saying? Now you have a system that will plant the seeds for you. You know what I'm saying? Water it, give it the proper amount of water. You know what I'm saying? And various things. And so now when we're able to effectively use technology and effectively utilize nature. Whereas, for me, what I'm looking forward to doing, there's a plant called rue. Have you heard of rue? R-U-E?
Yeah, I'm familiar with rue. That's in our gumbo. That's one of our gumbo ingredients out there in the wild.
Oh yeah, man. Hey man, I gotta, yo man. I've been meaning to come to Louisiana, New Orleans for years now. Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, yo, you mentioned gumbo. Like, yo, my peoples back east used to make gumbo, man. But like, I've never had it from Louisiana, man. So yeah, man. I'm definitely, when I come out there, we gotta link up, man. You gotta be like a tour guide for me, man. You know what I mean? But in regards to rue, all right, this herb. All right, beautiful, real simple looking plant, yo. And this plant is a natural herbicide. It's a natural pesticide, natural rodenticide, where basically it doesn't kill these other species of nature. What it does, it prevents them from disrupting other plants that's around it. So, like, for example, right, if you planted like I don't know. Let's say you was to plant some cannabis, right? I'm gonna use that as an example. If you was to plant some cannabis, right, and then you planted some rue next to it or surrounding the cannabis that you're growing, insects is not going to want to come through that rue. You know what I'm saying? So like these, we're able to combine technology with nature. You know what I'm saying? Now we're really doing something.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I got another question for you, right? Yo, is there any other projects that you would like to make the people aware of? Because what you're doing with this curriculum, I mean, yo, hands down, I don't know if you're doing pre-orders, but I'm seeing in the chat we got some people that might be interested in pre-ordering.
Yeah, I need to. I'm working on a lot because I'm dedicating myself to creating a textbook, and at the same time, I'm working on creating a website too. I'm gonna have to have somebody, like this young lady Naima Neat for IG. I'm gonna have her. Grateful for her to create a website for me. So that's the other thing that I have to do in order, obviously, to put this book up. I have a website, available for people to, in order to get the book, to get the textbook, and also, that's really it. Just a website and a textbook. Because I'm really dedicating myself immensely to this textbook. And other than that, it's just working with people that's out there in the world, like the Neville family, real beautiful people, real cool people. You're not familiar with the Neville family, the Neville brothers, some legendary singers out there in New Orleans. And I was able to connect with Mr. Cyril Neville's daughter, Lyrica Neville Branch, off of IG. And so, when they come back from Colorado, they come back Monday in New Orleans, come back to New Orleans from Colorado. Miss Lyrica Neville Branch and her family, the Nevilles, I'm gonna be working with them, just dealing with them.
Very good.
So just to discuss how we could utilize this information and take back New Orleans, baby. Because another thing, the mayor of New Orleans, the mayor of the city of New Orleans, Latoya Cantrell, she updated the seal of the city of New Orleans to 2 dark-skinned Native Americans. So that's big for us down here.
Wow. That's hot.
The seal of the city of New Orleans is 2 dark-skinned Native Americans.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now.
It was originally pale-skinned Native Americans, but Latoya Cantrell, Native Americans.
Yo, you said that's a seal. That's a seal. Yo, you said that's the seal of New Orleans.
Yep, the seal of the.
The city.
Type in Still of City of New Orleans, Latoya Cantrell.
All right, give me 1 second. My joint is running slow right now. Still of the city of New Orleans. That's hot. And you said her name is, what's her name again? Cynthia?
Latoya Cantrell.
Latoya Cantrell. I don't know how to spell her name, but I'm gonna check it out though. Let me see what's up.
It's Lecoya.
Yeah, I see it right there. Yep, we got it right there 2 days ago. Mayor Cantrell update city seal. Yeah. And this is what A4 is about. You know what I'm saying? We spread information. Huh?
People who out there in New Orleans, obviously we got a whole big Indian, we big Black Indian masking culture out here. So this basically confirms who we are out there in New Orleans and Louisiana, period. Because we sitting on so many like Black Indian burials, Black Indian villages all across New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like New Orleans is sitting on Black Indian territory. Black Indian DNA is being walked on across the entire city of New Orleans. And she know that. She looks like an Indian. Latoya Cantrell look like an Indian.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the image though. What's going on here? Hold on. Here it go. Here it go. Yeah, okay. I bet. I see it. Yo, good money. All right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Like,
all right.
We could claim that could be something that can inspire people to claim Aboriginal titles. They trace their lineage as existing in New Orleans and never been imported from nowhere. It's like you got that seal to use as a reference, as a source. Like that's too dark skinned Native. It was Native Americans before she darkened it, before she changed the complexion to reflect who the people really are, to reflect who the Native Americans really are.
Well, hey, Johnny, let me share this with you real quick, though, man. Yo, look up the legal definition of native, though. Look that up. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't know how you're filing your documents. You know what I'm saying? It sound like you're getting busy with law. But like, yo, you know, it's a lot of these words. You know,
native in Black law. I understand, like in the colloquial term, you know, it implies indigenous, but in Black law, in actual law, it means, you know, servitude, somebody in bondage. The actual term native. Exactly.
It means a foreign slave.
We can never be Native Americans as far as an identity or ancestry or politically, culturally, but as far as colloquially, socially, you know, these are the terms that we will use occasionally to, you know, to just to let our people know what it is. But at the same time, we can never be Native. We don't want to be Native.
Definitely not.
But you know,
I simply say American. You know what I mean?
Right. But the original definition of American means Aboriginal.
That's right.
Applies to type of color race.
It shouts the 1828 definition of American. Shout outs to 1828. I ain't seen him in a minute. I ain't seen his work in a minute, but yeah, 1828 definition of America. Yo, he's putting a lot of work on over the years, man.
Yeah, that's Al. That's half the lesson.
Oh, word, that's him too? Damn. Yo, y'all dudes in y'all social media, y'all, what was that called? Catfishing? You know what I mean? Dude's got like 1,000 different profiles putting out quality information, right? Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
YouTube too. You got a fire YouTube channel too. Ab the Legend or Aboriginal Legend.
Yeah, I think I subscribed to him. I'm definitely with Tyrone Street, 1,000 Go Ahead, Safa Karu, yeah, it's only a few, man. I don't like to deal with a lot of these new people, man. We do got some older dudes, some older men and women about people, man, that have been putting in work too, though. Yo, Medicine Man Truce, I think his name is Medicine Man, got good info.
That's Reginald. I think his name Reginald Crawford.
That's right, Reginald. Yep, Reginald. Reggie. He got that work, yo. Like, I mean, it's like, goddamn, son. Like, yo, what kind of library you got? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm following them too on IG.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we got some strong people, man. It's not playing, man. Then on IG, yeah. You know, cause I never really dealt with IG outside of like different businesses that I've done. You see what I'm saying? And so now, you know, I'm dealing with IG from another perspective. And yeah, we got some heavy hitters on IG too, like yourself. I mean, y'all got a mean squad on Instagram, man. And yeah, you was saying something to me a couple hours ago about how basically you got IG is like what you said they cutting your content or something.
Well, yeah, my hashtags that I created, that I self-created, these are hashtags that got libraries of documentation, and it's like it's some fire hashtags. Like it's crazy. Like I'm so good at creating hashtags, and it's so much that Instagram censored them. They censored my hashtags that made it much convenient for people like to go directly to the post. Like any of my posts, I got specific hashtags laid out for certain type of information on different subject matter for people to go directly look it up. Like for example, earliest historical explorer count. That's a hashtag that got all of the explorers voyage accounts, documented voyage accounts of every single European explorer that pulled up to the Gulf Coast, Southeast Coast, Northeast Coast, Pacific Coast, the Caribbean, all of that documentation. And it's like 300 posts, over 300 posts in that hashtag. Another one is American Bone Speaks, genocide reclassification, African DNA testing hoax. Like these are specific hashtags that really just expose the truth and just wake people up. Like clear cut, right then and there. As soon as you open these hashtags, the information will hit you. And I think that started happening as my page, because I switched my profile to a business profile, from a regular profile to education business profile. And I guess Instagram must shadow ban, certain information. When you get a lot of traffic come to it. But then again, a lot of other people probably just came across my page. Since it's a business profile now, some people probably marked the hashtag as inappropriate. They probably like reported it on some hate and insecure shit, and made the post and the hashtag go hit or suppress. From a lot of traffic coming in and people just getting jealous, like the $5 Indians or the Mongoloids, the fake ones, the settlers, the foreigners. And it's like all of this is documented. Bro. It's like it ain't no way to try to censor. That's the only way. If you don't want nobody to see this information, you don't want people, the most powerful way that they can through Instagram appropriate. These are all these pale faces to try to hide the post. But I mean, that don't stop the post.
I think
like I said, that's why I'm creating this textbook and creating a website.
No doubt. Yo, what I think though, they got black bootleg motherfuckers. That's information, man. And the reason why I say that, right? So now when we know that our people was storing information, storing records in through the churches, right? The quote unquote black churches, right? When we know that our people was doing this for like hundreds of years, right? And then we see what the churches are doing today. And so churches are still standing today. We're not the generation since they was kids. But yet still the flow of the information towards our youth has been cut off. And that's why I say that. That's exactly why I say that. Like, yo, I believe that they got manipulating the flow of the information. This leads to my next question for you. Do you back up your data? All these different memes, all these different all this content in which you created, do you back it up?
Yeah, I have them all. I mean,
very good.
My phone. I need to put them on a drive whenever I get a chance. But I got every single post I put up still saved in my camera roll though.
Yo, that's
so I always try to make sure I never delete nothing after I post it, because initially that's what I had a habit of doing. But then I realized, eventually, you never know when this might get taken down. On some hateful, spiteful shit. My page might get reported because people jealous of the or mad or upset about it. So then I went back and started saving everything that I created with my name on.
Very good. I
went back and saved it.
Very good. Yeah, man. Yo, also, I'll tell you this, man. In your own serve, in generators. You know what I mean? These things you can get wholesale as a reseller or whatever. Get these things directly from manufacturers, reduce the cost. You know what I mean? You can get into contractual situations. You know what I mean? You got these foreign companies, man. They'll give you goods. All you gotta do is just shout them out, and they'll throw you something. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a lot of options and opportunities out here, man. Yo, I don't want to take your time and all of that, man. I appreciate you. Let me ask you, do you feel like doing a quick Q&A with the people? We got over it's not updating. I'm looking at it on my phone right now, but we got over 50 people watching. I know that. You want to do a quick Q&A with them?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm with it.
All right, cool. Hey, y'all. If y'all got any questions for Johnnie Aborigine, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm gonna read Johnnie the question. You know. Yeah, I see in the chat right now UCCs and contracts and jurisdiction and citizen and yeah. Hey, y'all got any questions? Yo, got any questions? Yo, we got 81 watching. Does anyone have any questions for Johnnie Aborigine? All right. So yo, peep game, Johnnie. This what it is, man. I'm definitely need to follow up with you. You know what I mean? I like what you're saying. I do a lot of different work. You know what I mean? I appreciate everything that you said. If there's any way that we can collaborate, we already discussed some things early this year, so I'm definitely gonna be following with you on that. I'm developing some new platforms right now, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna follow with you real soon. We got one question that came in. Well, we have two questions. Hilton says, does he wear his feather in public?
Occasionally I do, yeah. Because I got locks. Occasionally I twist some feathers on my locks. So yeah, I do.
All right. Next question. What happens if you hit a wall in your research?
You gotta go in person. You gotta research the land, go get obtain some records in person. To the county that's grant or to the state archive family on a census record. Person to the county vital records office and get the vital records, the birth, marriage, death records. That's the vital records. Get those records of your family, of your grandparents that you reached the roadblock and to continue to trace back first, because the vital records will have the parents' names on those records, and that'll give you the opportunity to continue to trace back further using those names that you find on the birth, marriage, and death records on the vital records of that grandparent.
Absolutely.
You know, and it'll cost a lot of times people don't want to spend no money, even though it's just like $25, $50, $100. You know, at some point you gotta spend money. Like this is things that's very valuable to find your lanes, and people get so comfortable. I'm not saying to that person personally, saying in general, people get comfortable with how much access they could get with the online website, that they think that that's the only source, or that's where it ends and begins at. And at the same time, you just simply go in person. Go to a library. You can go to the vital records office in person, or go to a library. Because you told me, Tony, you go to the library in person.com at home. If you go to a library and access ancestry.com, you get more access to records.
Yeah, that was Brandon Rogers. Shout out to Brandon Rogers. He spit balls. Brandon Rogers came through with the balls. He was like, yeah, go to the library for free. Like, library for free. I was like, you know what I mean? That was great info. Yeah. Yeah, and I shared it. It was like next day. I see your post on IG and shit. I was like, hold on, man, let me shoot this to you real quick, Johnnie. Yeah. So yeah, we got another question here. Okay, so we did that one. Next question is this from Tino Francis. Do you pay taxes?
I don't.
All right. Johnnie, this is from I guess that's how you say that. Does Johnnie follow any religions? No doubt. No. You know what I mean? Keep it simple, right? All right. So next question is from Ayash. All right. Guess I'm saying that right. Says, for Johnnie Aborigine, what is your take on authenticating the birth certificate?
A birth certificate, you don't have to authenticate. Like, there's a way. I mean, I've been researching ways that you can obtain the money that's in that the birth certificate created, the trust that the birth certificate created. You got to put into the pay off certain debts. But authenticating it, you have to obtain the birth state in order to get your birth certificate to be free. You got to actually get that out of the possession of the state, period. Because they don't always have records of it. Like, they always have that instrument, that bond that they created. So unless you get that back, then authenticating it can't really do anything. But what you could do is create a trust and secure your assets in, secure your land and all your financial bank accounts and even identity, depending on what type of trust it is.
Well, let me add to that. Let me add to that real quick. In regards to authenticating the birth certificate, I would not do the birth certificate. I would recommend certificate of live birth. There's a difference between the two documents.
Right. A certificate of live birth is simply, a document that states the birth, that records the birth itself, instead of turning it into the state. And that gives you the opportunity to not have your children become property or wards of the state by simply creating your own live birth record.
Now, Johnnie, you just referenced the trust aspect. The trust aspect is very, very important with these processes. That's very important. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just got that question right there. Great question. Let's go to continue. This from Lorenzo Duckworth. Johnnie, did you hear about the 20,000 buried bodies they found in New Orleans? It was discovered to be 20,000 quote unquote Black Indians.
Yeah, I posted that on my page. That was whatchamacallit. What's that boy name is? David M. Hotep. He did a radio show about it. That's what put me on game with it. It was this dude. Damn, I wish I knew his name. It was in the French Quarter though. This dude was he was building a backyard pool. He was installing a pool in the condo backyard in the French Quarter, and he ended up finding a grave with some Black Indians in it. Like, they uncovered the coffin, and when they opened the coffin, they realized, man, it was some bones that dated back 300 to 500 years that been buried there for good looking, predating New Orleans.
Wow.
And it was discovered that it was Black Indians, which would be Choctaw Indians, based on locality, because that was the Indians that lived in the New Orleans area. A bunch of Choctaw sub-tribes like the Colapinka, Bayou Gula, Pascagoula, Gula Geisha, Fandapahor, a whole bunch of Choctaw Black Indian tribes, so-called Black Indians that lived in New Orleans, plenty of them. And that's why I said that everywhere you go in New Orleans, you walking on Black Indian graves, Black Indian villages, and it's like, I know exactly where they are at. It's crazy, but yeah, like, everywhere in New Orleans, including New Orleans East, because that's like the outskirts of New Orleans, which is really like its own town in New Orleans East. That's really where the streets is at now. Everybody moved out the city in like the 3rd Ward, 7th Ward, 9th Ward, and migrated and got pushed out into New Orleans East. And that's where Chafonka culture was at. Like, the Chafonka mound building culture was out there in New Orleans East, right by Lake Pontchartrain. If you look up Chafonka culture, you'll find that, they found a lot of relics and artifacts in New Orleans East. And that's what Chief Warhurst has, like, certified records of her descendants from the Chafonka mound building culture. That's the Chafonka Nation. That's where the Chafonka Nation is derived from the Chafonka mound building culture. Like, there's actually historical records of the Chafonka Nation existence, historical continuity of the existence in the New Orleans area, New Orleans metro area. And that thing back to 1000 BC. And he put the date on it as early as 1000 BC. That's just the date that the white boys put on it.
Exactly.
So he got all her record stores. He was, about everything, all the artifacts, skeletal artifacts of New Orleans, so-called Black Indians.
Yeah, Chief Warhorse thorough, man. It kind of pissed me off when I seen that weirdo dude on one of the what's that called? Wake Up Indigenous Niji. All right. Yeah, before I even go into that, hey Johnnie, you ever heard of a Niji before?
familiar with, I'm familiar with the term.
How familiar?
As a person, they saying that it's a person that's the original. It means an original person of America.
But now I'm saying, like, are you familiar with it as far as like you came across this in your research, or as far as like this recent, you know, social media talk that's been going on?
Social media talk.
Word. Cause like, yo, I had to do a video on that, man. Cause somebody came on Buck channel, I want to say like last month, talking about something Niji, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is a Niji? And so anyway, I had to do.
That's some new shit, which is crazy because the young lady that I communicate with, that I'm cool with, Naima, you know, she does, you know, she got some voodoo products, whatever, her some business going on, and she uses Niji in her Instagram name. And I think she used it because she seen Dan Calloway using on his IG page, and I never seen none of that shit in historical records. I seen Anastasia, which is what Buck Volume had presented to the people. I seen that, but I never seen Niji. And the thing is, Niji is being associated with or was created by opportunities. Like, you got people latching on to things and not realizing where it comes from.
Hey,
and what is the significance of it.
Hey, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do, yo. In a moment, I'm gonna text you over that video that I did on my channel, yo. Like, there's a Moorish Native American connection with this, man. Yo, a Niji. All right, so peep game, right? Is used by the Mongoloids. It comes from the Mongoloids, derives from the Mongoloids. Now, you know the Mongoloids, they had problems. They got chased out of China. They got chased out of Asia, right? And so for the Chinese, a Niji is someone in hiding. Someone in hiding. A Niji, I believe it's either in Cantonese or Mandarin. In Chinese, in the Chinese languages, a Niji means someone in hiding.
That's crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. Why people just be acting on this shit, don't even know what the fuck they be saying, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yo, it's real funky, man. These games is being played.
That's circulating like a lot now because of Dan Calloway, because of that Wake Up Easy channel. You say that was affiliated with that boy to push him.
Yeah.
But people not investigating, man, like on their own intuition. That's our biggest obstacle because you got people transitioning to this knowledge, but they're still attached. They're still addicted to that personality shit.
Yeah, man.
But they're not investigating what's being presented to them and the motives. They're not doing their own research.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's really dangerous, bro.
It really is, man. You know what I mean? That's why I'm grateful for A4. You know what I mean? You know, just for the opportunity for us to, you know, be able to communicate this truth to our people, man. That's what it's about, man. We got to provide clarity for our people. You know what I mean? So we got another question here. We got a series of questions, but next question is from Autoctionist One. What made him realize he was indigenous?
My parents, my grandparents.
There you go.
I mean, if you talk about with this platform, it was looking at videos that made me think from Mr. Kerry Davis, with the African Americans and Africans, and that's back in 2011. So I mean, I got familiar with it like back then when Kerry put that out in 2011. And then I seen videos from 1000 Go Ahead. He had a series of somebody live videos back in 2011, 2012. And then you also had the Legend. So it was visuals put on YouTube by those brothers, 1000 Go Ahead and the Legend. And I'm real close with them. I got a real good base with them too. And Tyrone ST too.
Yeah.
Like, information from them, visuals from them, and that made me go start doing the work and get all of this information through text, because like they did a real good job with the visuals, and I wanted to put the visuals into information, start putting out all the sources, like for people to see, so it won't just strictly be visuals, you know, things on video. I wanted people to actually see things that was documented, like on record.
That's
right. Beyond just a video, but that's what inspired me from those three individuals.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, yo. I'm glad you heard it first from your peoples, though, man. It's nothing like hearing it from your peoples, man. It's nothing like it. You know,
absolutely. They always told me, they always told me their oral history, but I didn't know how to conceptualize. I didn't know what you're talking about if y'all just allow me to get miseducated by saying, oh, this Catholic school in New Orleans that just told me I came on a boat in a slave trade. Why did y'all just put me through this foolishness in the school system if we always been here? You should have educated me yourself. But they didn't have the type of curriculum or indigenous economic base to do that. You know, these are people that just grew up thinking they had to get a job. Talking about my parents, like
yeah,
they didn't know what to do. Our people got lost in the sauce, you know, back in the 60s and 70s and 80s.
Yeah, man.
And didn't keep this didn't maintain a base, you know, with our Aboriginal history in order to apply it economically and culturally and politically, especially politically.
That's right.
And legally. But yeah, my grandparents, they always told me they from Pass Christian, Mississippi. That's my mama, daddy's side. My mama's father's, both of my mama's father's parents, Joseph Bates and Ruth Duncan Bates, they both from Pass Christian, Mississippi. They both shot on. My mama's mama is from the New Orleans area. Never got imported from anywhere.
That's right.
And my daddy people from the Baton Rouge area, by Point Compete.
Yo, I appreciate you sharing that. Yo, I don't know how many more questions we got. How's your time looking? Because I don't want to take your time, my man.
Shit, I'm good. I mean,
oh, well, I bet. I'll try to get through because I gotta go get some fresh air in a hot minute. You know what I mean? I've been working nonstop all day, and I need to go get some more air. I've been out getting air since like early this morning, man. So let me go to jump to the next one. This is from Arrowhead Sniper. Do you know if they brought Africans to New Orleans, or did they come from South America or the islands?
Yeah, they brought a few Africans from Senegambia. They brought a few of them, but I mean, it wasn't that big. You can't even squeeze no boats between the Caribbean islands that frequently to even bring over 1,000 people. I mean, you got slave databases that recorded the slaves in New Orleans as like Senegambia and Ashanti, Mandy, and all that. But that don't mean that everybody, just because they got the existence of these people in the slave database classified as that, or as their origins, that don't mean that every single person. That don't mean that speaks for everybody. Because the first the first slaves in the New Orleans area was Indians. That's fully documented.
That's right.
First slaves in New Orleans was Tittamacha Indians, Bayou Gula Indians, the Alabama, the Bayou Gula, Ocola Pisa, the Chachauma, and that's the actual original name of New Orleans, Chachauma. That's the Aboriginal name. But yeah, they had a few of them, and then you have people that was brought from the Caribbean into New Orleans as well, voluntarily and involuntarily. But then, you know, they also call them people African slaves. But yeah, if you have more people that was imported from the Caribbean than they could have ever possibly been from Africa, because obviously it's the most convenient route to ship people, transport people from the Caribbean islands to the Gulf Coast. It's right by each other.
That's right. Let me share this too. Y'all, because it was definitely great to listen. It's definitely great to read. We definitely recommend reading. You know what I'm saying? We definitely recommend getting oral tradition, such as what Johnnie Aborigine is providing with y'all right now. Something which I would recommend too, though, is get into some of these they call it BBC, British Broadcasting Channel or Communications, right? The BBC network. There's 2 shows that was released within the past year. All right. One was titled Taboo, Taboo. All right. In that show, you got this British dude, all right, Caucasian, right? And this dude was a slave, and he was enslaved in Africa, all right? And so the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because Caucasians, just like when you look at the SF-181, all right, it says who the Africans are. Caucasians are also Africans. So please do not, while you're doing this research and this, that, and the other, please do not limit your imagery. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the propaganda that's present. You know what I mean? Do not limit your imagery. Caucasians are also Africans. All right? Keep that in mind.
That's what the term originally applied to, Roman. The Roman origin.
Africanus. That's right. All right, so next question. This is from a GBM 8042. Question: people of Libya and Sierra Leone, are they American Indian?
Yep. That's the people. That's people that came to Africa, to those regions in Africa, via the American Colonization Society, and also people after slavery. They was promised some land by the United States colonizers, like go set up some shit, some freemen, some Freetown or Freeman territories, as a promise or as like a reparations plan. They was trying to remove people from this land, and they allowed them to go set up some countries over there in Africa, like Sierra Leone and Liberia. So yeah, that's how people from the Southeast and from the Caribbean that decided to move there, especially Liberia.
I mean,
these are the two reasons that they use to like trace the Creole languages of the Gunna as proof of, they Africans. That's people that went over there and brought their language over there. That's the reason why it's similar, because the language wasn't always there prior to the 1800s. That was because the Gunna people had went over there, and brought their language there. Now they're using it as, that's the compatibility right there.
Well, and
they do that on purpose to play with people's minds. People not gonna research. They just gonna assume that's how they African. The Gullah people.
Yo, let me throw this in there too, though. In my research pertaining to American Colonization Society, there was a series of colonization societies. All right. Sierra Leone was definitely one of the places. Monrovia was named after I believe President Monroe, U.S. President Monroe. All right. Now, in addition to this, there was a lot of conflict between the American people that region. There was a lot of they wasn't really over there. There was a lot of warfare and conflict, just like there is to this day over there right now. Those I mean, Africans, man. I can't really claim those people because I don't have time to get into the genealogy and this, that, and the other. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? I don't really know much about them like that for me to even, say all of that. You know what I mean? As far as like claiming them.
Even in Africa, they don't even see them as traditional Africans, as pure indigenous Africans or people that's from that land. Like they got their own little caste social systems that set them people aside from, the actual African tribes that's from that land. Like they know the actual Africans that's in those regions know who's really who and who's from where. Like they got social caste systems over there.
Yep.
That's like that reflects that.
Yeah, man. Some horror stories come out of Sierra Leone too, man. But next to that, Sekhmet Ra asked, did you declare your nationality?
Yeah, I'm actually registered with Shafunga Nation.
There we have it. Next. Virginia Slim said, what started you on your path to reach family? I think you already asked. You want to summarize that again? Matter of fact, I think you probably already asked question. I bet.
Family's oral history, and then I said my family's oral history, and then just tired of being lied to. I got so fed up with being lied to by school system and media so much that I just became so hungry to find all this information about who we are. So between family history and then the YouTube was back into my family history to find my family records, and then all of the information that just had me so frustrated with all of the lies, and that just it went on from there.
For more questions, yeah, yo, Jazzy's a Fox. Yo, check out, go to my channel. Yo, I pulled out numerous sources on the word Niji. Niji is not an Aboriginal from Turtle Island / North America. That is not true. That comes from those Mongoloids. It applies to Mongoloids. It applies to foreigners. You know what I mean? Go ahead and take a look. Do your own research. Don't trust the first sources that you see. You know what I mean? And definitely don't follow them weirdos. You know.
All people gotta do is just type in Chinese need. That's all they really need to put in.
Yeah.
Mandarin, Chinese Mandarin.
And Niji cannot place the term Indian because Indian is a legal term. That's not, Indian, the word Indian is a legal term. It cannot replace Indian. And native youth.
It's applied to the Aboriginal inhabitants of America. That's what it means in law.
That's right.
Aboriginal inhabitants of America.
Yeah, and
that's the thing, dog. People mislead on purpose.
That's right. It's easy shit. Yeah, and in regards to what you're saying about among native youth, native, once again, in law, it means a foreign slave. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And those are mongoloids. Those are mongoloids that are running around talking about native and this, that, and the other, calling themselves Native Americans. And originally Native American, that came from, they had a political party. You know what I'm saying? So she broke down Gangs of New York. She referenced Gangs of New York. Native American, that was a political party, I believe, in the late 1800s or like the mid to late 1800s. Going to very important for you to do your listen to these weirdos.
It's for the Europeans. It's associated with Mongoloids and Europeans.
That's right.
That would be native.
Here, where we at? Okay, Segment Raw asked another question. Johnnie Aborigine, how did your relatives say they lost the language?
How did my relatives lose the language?
Yeah, he's asking, how did your relatives say they lost the language?
My relatives, it's all about passing down traditions. When you stop passing down traditions, you no longer possess your culture or possess your lineage. The knowledge of your language, knowledge of your language anymore. So for me, with my family, they stopped passing it down. I had to go and ask them who they are and where we came from for me to, figure out my language. I had to ask them because they stopped passing it down.
Wow, that's what's up. Yeah, we got just research is associated with the OOG way, I believe they call it. And all you see is a whole bunch of Siberian Mongoloids. All right. So also the word Niji, when it comes from those Mongoloids, it means my fellow in reference to a male. All right. For a female, it's a different form of the word, which is much longer, although it does include Niji within the word itself, is much longer in reference to the female. So when you got these weirdos saying that American Indians, Aboriginals are Niji, that's a wild blanket statement right there. Versus something real simple, calling someone an Indian, because an Indian can be either masculine or feminine. You see what I'm saying? This is how, like Two Hawks said a couple weeks ago, we have to be specifically specific. You know what I'm saying? We have to know what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And why are we going to name it? Why are we going to call? How are we going to identify ourselves in truth by what somebody else identifies themselves at in their truth? Our truth is distinct from foreigners' truth. It's distinct. All right, yeah.
What people are doing is implementing foreign terms into our knowledge itself, which is confusing a lot of people. You got people that's bringing in, because coming out of foreign ideologies, so they bring these foreign terms with them, and that's how they confuse people. And they're doing it on purpose, because if you start inspiring people to call themselves these, obviously infantry, when you know people not gonna look these terms up, and you using like these newly created terms, that's Asian shit, dog. Like,
exactly.
Ain't no way around.
Exactly. Yo, we got another question. Somebody just hit me directly on the line. They said, please ask Johnnie Aborigine if he'll be available on the 20th of April to come to Las Vegas for the Great American Powwow.
Absolutely. Definitely be in there.
All right. Good money. Let me see. Do we got any more questions here? Where we at? Pardon me, y'all. I'm coming back to the app so I can review y'all questions. Okay, yeah. So Talkshows one, he has another question. Yeah, shout out to Gene Keaton map of 1696. Yeah, that's a good reference right there. I need to look that up myself. I think I'm gonna pull it up in a second. Matter of fact, let me go and do that now. I'll talk just one. Your question is, they were sending Indians to the West Indians. So how do we know that they Africans? Exactly. Good question.
You could go to those Caribbean islands. I guess they call them provinces in the country, Caribbean countries instead of states. They call them provinces. But you go to them, the state or province or countries archives and find. You have to research the names the same way we do in North America mainland. County records distinguish your people from being imported to being from the land. And you can find records the same way that they got a slave database, in North America or in the Southeast, they would have a slave database for the Caribbean. So for the Caribbean, people of the land would be simply were they imported versus not being imported. And that's how you know they're from the land. Or what I should say is imported from Africa. So there's records showing that, who was imported in from Africa versus who was from that island versus who was shipped to the island from the Southeast, because you had Indians that were shipped from the Southeast to the Caribbean islands. But you have to look up, use the slave database records in most Caribbean countries, use the census records, like the same way we do on the mainland, and continue tracing your lineage upwards to find, what great-grandparents was imported in, or if they were imported in versus if they was always from the land. So just do the slave database and the census records of that country.
Yo, that's what's up. Yeah, Porter, I'm responding in the chat real quick. Jazzy, I'm typing it in. If you go to my channel, the one with the yellow and green in it, the more recent one, right? And that channel, the title of the video is, I think it's called "What the Fuck is a Niji?" WTF is a Niji. I think that's what it's called. So like, yeah, I did it like maybe like 2 months ago, maybe, I can't remember. What the fuck is a Niji? There you go. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and I put Calva Season is Over on it. It says, it might end with CSIO on it. But yeah, you should be able to, yeah, I did it live where I was going through the research that I had already located. You know what I mean? Because I don't like confusion, y'all. Seriously, I do not like confusion. I don't like people that support confusion, because we got too many of our youth that have been deceived, got too many of our youth that's being deceived right now, manipulated, sabotaged, etc. You know what I'm saying? And like Johnnie was saying, when you young and you hungry, you know what I'm saying, you're going through whatever experiences you're going through, and then you got all these different people telling you a whole bunch of bullshit that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? That will piss you off early. Especially when you're seeing your friends and your relatives suffering in so many different ways, and these people that know better ain't trying to show better. They ain't trying to do better. And we got too many people that know better than the bullshit that they doing. We got too many people out here that's really playing. You know what I mean? But my apologies. I'm not going to do Tomahawk Tony on Buck Channel. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not going to do that.
I fuck with that, dog. I really appreciate your energy, dog. Like, that really inspired me.
Well, I'm grateful, man. But like I get feeling like, yo, Tony, you're crazy, you're bugging, you're wilding, you're this, you're that. It's like, yo, it's like, man,
they just ain't used to it. They ain't used to it.
Like, yo, yeah, I'm like, yo, I'm being me, man. Like, I'm being me. You feel me? Like, Buck cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So so many people cool with it. I'm cool with it, of course. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I ain't telling no lies. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to play with people out here. But yeah, y'all. So, hey, Johnnie, do you want to say anything else before we close out?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You want to say anything else before we close?
Nah, I just say I appreciate people actually thinking for themselves and researching information that I shared, that I was inspired to look for myself. So all I would say is for people to keep on researching information, continue to build with your family, continue to research your lineage, find out who you are, so you can recover what was taken away from your family, and definitely look out for that textbook that's coming out in January so we can educate our own children. That's the most important thing that we got to do with this information, is to start creating educational institutions around it. We might not be able to get some buildings right away, create schools, but we'll definitely have some textbooks You know what I mean? That we could utilize our own as parents. You know, for every parent, they could be able to be their own parents. They could be their own child teachers ASAP, like within the next few months soon with these textbooks. And so that like the textbook is just a start of what's to come. Like this is the beginning of an Aboriginal American educational institution with these textbooks. So definitely I'm looking forward to putting that out. Like I'm continuing to work on this because that's what I've been dedicating my time to the last few months on top of the information that I've been sharing on Instagram. So I just encourage people to continue to build with their family and continue spread awareness, become aware, and yeah, like that.
Yo, that's what it is, man. Yes, yeah, y'all. So, you know, this is what it's about, man. You know, this is what we do over here at A4. You know, yeah. So, Johnnie, last question I got for you. So you said you got it in the works for people could pre-order that book, right? Because you know, it seemed like people want that book like right now. They want it today. I think the dude, Dr. Umar Johnson, you know what I mean? I think he got people ready for that work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to create. Like, what I'm gonna do about the pre-orders is I'm gonna definitely guarantee well within the next 3 weeks because it's being up because I like to have something for people that definitely within the next 3 weeks I'm gonna have a website up and be able to create the opportunity for people to create the avenue for people to pre-order. Because I know, like, and that's the thing with Umar Johnson, since you brought that up. That dude built so many, millions out of people and then come through with that school and could have just bought a regular sized building and could have been, at the same time that I came out with this knowledge, dog, like sharing it, that's when he came out with the school in 2013, which is crazy. And he haven't produced nothing from it. Out of hyping himself up as being this fake psychologist. And yet he had milked so many millions of dollars with people. And that's one thing I never wanted to do. Like do this for financial gain. I'm doing this out of my own pocket because we need it. Like I'm gonna utilize this with my own babies and my family, with my little cousins, with these textbooks. You know what I mean? If parents got the knowledge of how to educate their children, that's all they need. You don't need to create a school, a fake school for people with these grand, illustrious plans that you know ain't gonna never happen with this Hampton University campus, whatever campus it was in Virginia. You know it was impossible to get that, but did that for people anyway, and manipulated the shit out of them with the donations. No one even never was gonna get that, but he did that because he wanted a quick come up. You know
That's right.
And then use the excuse that he was gonna get blocked, and all he had to do was create these textbooks like I'm doing. He's actually working in the school system, and I'm somebody that's just a thorough research, that's just a hungry research, and I'm creating some textbooks for people so they can educate their own children. You got people that got degrees of education, and they just get these degrees of education just to go get a position.
So they can brag about it. So they can talk about it. They go to dinner party talking about, yeah, I have a bachelor's in philosophy, right?
you got a bachelor's in a position. That's all that is.
A bachelor's in a position, right? And now you need hold on. You know. Yeah. You know. Yo, you know today, right? Like today's quote unquote job market, a master's degree for like extremely low level positions.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Yo, back east some years ago, man, I was going to college, right? And so I used to watch while I was getting ready to go to class and all of that, right? You know, I went to school for business and I ended up dropping out, man, because they wasn't teaching me business. You know what I mean? Like I know business. You feel me? So anyway, I just wanted to, see what's up with that, see what the school was going to teach and all that. So anyway, watch in the morning, right? I used to watch Fox News, MSNBC, and all these different news media outlets. And one morning, I think it was on CNN, they had a dude on there. I think he was in New York, a Caucasian, older dude. This dude had to have been at least 60 years old. And he was all dressed up in his suit and tie and this and that. He had a sign on the front and the back of his like over his body, right? Saying, yeah, I have a master's and blah 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 blah. And hire me or some shit like that. And I was like, yo,
that's crazy. crazy as hell, dog. You got a master's degree. You should have been able to create an institution with that. That's what was mind-boggling. You get these masters just so you could be a professor,
man,
or a teacher. You got a degree in early education, and you just basically passing children through you. You just passing them repetitively, like through what they call it, a turnstile. Like they get the little sports games. They got the little turnstile where you walk through.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically what children are doing in elementary school, in the early grades, and these teachers are bragging about early education, and you just using these children as turnstiles just to collect a little salary, off of teaching the same thing over and over every year. They ain't getting empowered off of none of the stuff you're teaching. So why are you bragging about early education and degree?
Man, let me share this with you.
Basically, you they contributing to the slow growth of our children, and you bragging about no early education, dog. That's messed up.
Yo, let me share this with you. Let me share this with you real quick, man. So it's two parts. Some years ago, I met this woman, right? And she telling me that she got a master's in theology. So I'm like, what the fuck is a master's in theology? Like, what the fuck is that? And so anyway, so she telling me that she's a preacher and reverend and blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right. And so, you know, I engage people that tell me that they theologians and shit like that. I fuck their head up when they talk to me. So anyway, after me saying what I said to her, she told me that basically once she reached the master's level, they told her everything that she learned prior to the master's level was all bullshit. Okay, so that's the first part. Second part, and this is in regards to our youth, right? Check this shit out. Do you recall the dude Darion McKinney, the dude that was with Black Lives Matter, who was living in George Sorrow's home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do the research? Did you see that the dude basically when he was in New York, he was working for New York City public schools dealing with human capital. So when I seen it, I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? And then fast forward, and you know, at that point in time, you know, he was a low-level employee, but that's what he was working in. All right. Fast forward now, during the Black Lives Matter era, you know, that shit over. Anyway, now the dude was down there in Baltimore, and now he's an executive manager in Baltimore City Public Schools, human resources department, yo. Doing like doing 6 figures a year.
You mentioned that because Darren Sills is gone. Darren Sills was burnt alive in a car, but yet this dude, the dude you just mentioned, is still alive.
Yep.
Ferguson was killed. The brother in Ferguson, he was killed. But this other dude, he's still alive. The Sorrows puppet.
Yeah, man. You know, it's real crazy, man. But definitely, though, Johnnie Aborigine, I appreciate you. Definitely like to have you on another live with us. Definitely want to promote your book or your textbook and your curriculum once everything's ready, of course. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, thank you. The Buck is definitely going to hear this. I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. I'm sure all the members at A4 going to enjoy it. Everybody in the chat, how'd you enjoy this presentation tonight? Yeah, Johnnie, I'm just closing out.
I appreciate having this bill with you.
No doubt, man. Yeah. I'm definitely going to be hollering at you real soon. You know what I mean? You know, we check out the information that we've been sharing over the past couple months too. You know, we've had 2 Hawks, and he's been bringing on various Fauna Chiefs. We just had my man Terry Bow. He was on this past Sunday. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know what I mean? They about to get that work, yo, because basically all these people that's trying to play with the people with this information, this is counterfire right now. You know what I mean? We gonna get y'all that work.
We gotta kill them fake. Gotta kill them opportunists and exploiters and manipulators. That shit gotta die, dog. That's not what this is about. Can't make money off of lying to people and confusing them. That shit ain't cool.
Exactly. It ain't cool. Yeah. So Johnnie does have a YouTube channel. I just talked to him a couple hours ago about it. Hey, Johnnie, can you tell him about your YouTube channel and what you're gonna be doing with it soon?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. I've been having a YouTube channel up for the longest under the same name, like my Instagram name, Johnnie Aborigine. And eventually I'll start posting videos of me engaging and building. Like videos of me talking, bring my I did a video on Instagram about the Afro slave trade in a minute, and I basically had like 5 minutes of information, and I basically talked fast as hell in that 1 minute video. But yeah, I definitely do more speaking, do videos of me speaking, do more videos of things I observed, compilations, and also videos of me talking about the textbook. You know, since I'm putting out the textbook, you know, it'll be wise of me, you know, to begin putting out videos explaining, you know, the things that we need to get better, or the things that we need to become aware of, so we can be better as parents and a society in general as American Aborigines, and how we can move forward, you know, with this information. So I'll definitely be putting up videos of me speaking, videos that I've done before, because I actually recorded videos of me talking, and I just never posted them, because I always kept things information, or maybe that's been my only weak, or my only downfall was not showing me speaking more, because I always wanted people to actually just read. I'm big on reading and documentation. So yeah. And then I also have my Instagram page, Johnnie Aborigine. That's where all this information came from. That's where the place I put up, you know, all my information at, because that's what's, you know, most convenient for people. But yeah, that's what I utilize my YouTube channel for. You know, videos of me talking and videos about the textbook.
Yo, that's what's up, Johnny. Yo, we appreciate you, man. Everybody in the chat said they love this presentation. They appreciate the information you shared. You know, I definitely appreciated you know, having this discussion with you, this interview, if you will. Generally speaking, this presentation, man. So yeah, man, yo, you enjoy your evening. Hey, everybody out there, yo, much appreciation to you all. Enjoy your evening. Also, I see in the chat somebody was interested in the A4, you know, was it Buck's ebook, what every African American needs to know. Basically, if you go to A4 Truth, go to shop-a4truth.com. All right, www.shop- you know, the minus sign, the letter A, number 4, the word truth.com, right? Anything you purchase on that website, immediately you'll get the ebook emailed to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift. It's a gift from Buck. You know what I mean? So you know, if you see something, you like something, go ahead and put that order in. Expect your order in, you know, reasonable amount of time. You know, some of the things that we're doing, we on some real fashion situation coming real soon. New collections being developed. You know what I mean? We're doing a lot of different kind of work in A4. Networks are being developed, as I just put in the chat. You know, we got numerous platforms so that people can get quality information, quality products, services, etc. That's why A4 don't be promoting packages, because we really deliver what we say we deliver. You know what I'm saying? We about that work for real over here. So yeah, y'all enjoy y'all evening. You know what I mean? Also on the Tomahawk Tony channel, I'm gonna have Copper Sun Dragon back on. Most likely we'll have some other people's on. And you know, we got some more content. Yo, I'm about to crack some heads real quick. You know, we got a lot of people that dealing with confusion and all of that. And so we about to clear some of this confusion real quick. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say too much right now, but yo, think y'all gonna like that info. Hey, shouts to African American Africans, A4, everybody throughout the Americas. Y'all be good. We out.